on the Comic Collector Geek, and this is the interview series where I basically talk to cool collectors in the community about their comic book collections and get some real insight into the ways people collect comics. And this time, I'm going to be interviewing a really kind of a key member of the comic book community. She's been basically, you see her on everybody's channel but this channel for some reason. I don't know. I got to get her on this channel. But but she's like, she supports like the local artists. She supports like so many of these like independent artists that are coming up and coming. She's always on everybody's show but mine. And let's bring her in. It's K-pop. One sec here. You got to bring you in. Okay.
Hi.
Yeah, so there is no chat, so
it'll be there eventually. Yeah.
So I really do appreciate you doing this interview. By the way, I've been asking you for like a year. I'm like a stalker guy, like asking when can you come on my show. So how did you get into collecting comics?
I've been into comics my entire life. My brother and I, and then our neighbor, were really into sports card stuff first and video games.
Okay.
And we didn't really have comic stores around here. So we would go to the sports card show, and the sports card shows would start having comics there, and we would just start grabbing comics. And then we would go to like the store and then plop on the floor for like 2 hours and do like the 10 for $1 back issue bins. Kind of got hooked that way. Yeah.
Oh, that's fun. That's cool.
Yeah.
So did you guys like exchange comics, like like sort of like a little reading club or anything like that? Or
our neighbors kind of did, or they would try to buy them and sell them to us, and we'd be like, no, I could just go to the store and buy the same one myself.
Exactly.
Yeah. I miss the days of the grocery stores though, because we used to go into like the book area, the magazines, and spinner racks, get all that stuff. Yeah, we were big into all that stuff.
Yeah, I miss the old bookstores actually. Like my town was really small, so that was the only way you could even see comics like there, or like do you remember Zellers?
No,
maybe that's a Canadian thing. Maybe that's
could be a Canadian. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I don't know what that'd be equivalent to. Just like, it was a great store. It was a chain. All the Canadian viewers would be like, "Oh, Zellers, that was so cool." Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. But they would always have like comics like just by the checkout. When you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. When I was really little, before I got into comics, I would buy like the sticker things of the comic characters. Then you would buy the packs like trading cards, and you would have to like put the stickers on the inside the book, so it would make like a little kind of like a comic book, really. It was neat. And I was always really into coloring books too. So.
I had those too. I remember those. It'd be like it'd be a book. It would have a story in it, but all the characters would be blank. And then there would be one page where it was all the stickers, right? One page was all the stickers.
No, you would have to buy like the packs of stickers for that book, like trading card packs. And you would get like maybe 5 in there. Then you would have to put the stickers on there to reveal the page. Sometimes they were like just like square like panels, each ones.
I've seen those.
Or they would be like just faces and characters that you would have to put in there to finish the book. But
I've seen ones where it's like that. I've seen ones like that, and I've seen ones where it's like a full thing all together, and then you at the very last page is like all the stickers that you have to go and then put them throughout the book. But I know what the one you're talking about too. I've seen those too. It's been a while. That's like that's early 80s.
Super 80s. Yeah, super 80s. I was also really into Shrinky Dinks coloring books. Or we were huge into cartoons, so we would get like the books for the cartoons, which would eventually become comic books, but then you would have like this cassettes, and you would like listen along to the cassettes.
I know, I love those.
I have so many of those still.
Do you keep most of the stuff from your childhood, or?
Oh yeah, my whole upstairs is just covered in toys. Yeah.
So you didn't have like that horror story of my mom, my dad threw out my comic collection.
My mom wanted to, and I was like, no, that's not happening.
Yeah. My parents kept mine too. Like it was all beaten up. It was like the worst condition ever. But they kept it.
There were a few things that went missing along the way. Like I used to have every single She-Ra toy, like known to man. I have no idea what happened to that. but I have everything else from my collection. They probably got thrown away a long time ago. My original Cabbage Patches.
So when you collected back in the day, like did you go after key issues or anything like that, or were you just more about the
No,
story?
it
Wow.
was more like flipping through and grabbing whatever grabbed my attention,
Okay.
or like late 80s, early 90s, especially like in gaming, there weren't really a lot of girl characters. And if they were, they didn't really were like super like um the main character. So I
Yeah,
would
there's
go
sort
what
of
I would
secondary
hunt.
characters.
Yeah, they were
Yeah.
always like secondary or third or whatever. So I would go what I would hunt, and any cover that had a lady on it, I would just pick it up.
I do the same now, but for
Yeah,
different reasons. But,
still do that now. Yeah.
yeah. So
Yeah.
you must have loved the '90s then.
Oh, 90s is my jam. So many
Yeah, I mean,
lady, so many lady
like
books. Yeah.
it was all
Uh,
lady books back. I just remember I loved it. I was like Lady Death, she,
oh,
and like all these
yeah, no. Well, then
Lady
you're gonna like
Gaga.
my pile then that I just grabbed.
Okay, cool, cool. So yeah, so how did you
Yeah.
get into the art part of the whole thing?
I have always been into art. So I was doing art from a really young age. And I started out drawing cats and birds. I don't know why. And then I started doing portrait art. And then in fifth grade, I got into doing game characters.
Oh,
And
okay.
then that kind of evolved to like comic art and anime way back in like the 90s. So
Oh,
we kind
wow.
of just drawing a mixed match of everything.
Well, that's very
uh,
cool.
since, yeah. I kind of
Did you do
stopped
like
over the years, but just
did you ever
kind of,
do the thing where you get like the comic book and you kind of trace it or
oh, yeah.
anything like that?
Okay, so back in the day, in the 80s, you would get coloring books and they would have tracing paper. In a
Oh,
coloring book,
yes.
it was a tracing book, and you would have to trace out that. So I kind of started out that way. And then we got this light box thing that you were supposed to trace cars on it. And I kind of use it to trace like whatever on there just to get like line work down. So
Oh, wow.
that was fun. Yeah, that was man, I was like probably 8 when I had that, so it was full on.
No,
It's
that's the
art.
best time to learn. Like, I mean, you're probably that good at doing art just,
Uh,
that because you started really young. That's good.
yeah,
Um,
I remember entering every coloring book contest when I was like a kid, and I won a ton of them.
oh, that's
So
really
it
cool.
kind of kept me going. Yeah.
I entered a few of those when I was a kid. I always lost. So I was very sad. It was always some
uh,
girl that would win. Girls were much better at coloring. I always found like,
uh,
at that age, it was just like it was always
that
dominated
makes
by
sense.
women. Um, guys would
Yeah,
just like lines. I stay in lines. It's all over the place. Yeah. Um,
yeah, that's funny.
but that's cool. So yeah, how about you show some of these early books? I'd love to see like what kind of ones you picked out.
Okay,
Because I know
so
like just so the audience knows, you just literally grabbed the books
I
within
did.
a 5 minute span. So
I
these are
did.
not going to be like mega grails people. These are just the ones that she had handy. So give her some
Yeah.
slack. Okay.
So all of my other books are the other room because I've been in the middle of reorganizing everything. So I couldn't even tell you where any of my stuff is right now. Uh, but I have my one box here, but I've already kind of showed that a bunch. So what I did is I went off my special shelf that had a lot of my Kickstarters and some other stuff, and I grabbed some
Oh, that's
interesting
cool.
things.
Okay.
So let me move this over here. So
And I'll make you big. So you're going to be
oh yay. No.
you're now you're the main attraction now.
Main attraction. All right. So this was a Indiegogo. It's actually one of my favorite characters of all time. I love the art, and we were talking about this earlier, the 90s and the ladies, and I give to you she.
Oh wow. So I just mentioned that too. That's funny.
You did just mention it. So this was one of the
And
ones I first backed on a campaign several years ago during COVID when I started really getting into Kickstarter. So this was
wow.
it's really neat. So yeah.
So is she still running?
Yes.
Oh,
So mostly you'll see her on Indiegogo campaigns, but her daughter, I forgot the daughter's name, but the daughter has taken over. It's like Hyako or something. She's taken over really
Yeah.
the she character. So yeah, it's really neat. And I really love Asian cultures and stuff. So like that's always gravitated toward this. Anytime I saw her, I would pick her up her books, and I've been picking her up since like the mid '90s. It's one of my faves.
Yeah.
The art is fantastic, and
That's a really
Tucci is
cool one. That's got the wave thing going on too
oh
in the
yeah,
back.
Oh yeah, if you look at the new covers that are coming out, the art is just stellar. And what I like too is they'll do like the black and white editions when they release it, so you can really get a glimpse of like the art.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah,
Very
and I really
nice.
like Tucci. He's really a nice guy. You'll also like this because I know you like these kind of covers. My friend does a lot of covers. He does a lot of Zombie Tramp covers and a couple other
Oh,
covers
okay.
as well. He actually just did a Lady Death and Zombie Tramp cover, but this
Yeah,
is
they just had their crossover. Yeah.
yeah. So he actually had one of those covers, which I picked up, which was great. But this is Michael
Oh,
McComb, who's my
wow.
friend. So there's a naughty version of this as well.
I can
It's
imagine.
super
It's almost
limited.
naughty as is.
It's super limited. There was only like 90 of them, by the way. So yeah, this was through Economics and Comics, who's Billy. But yeah,
What's the
he's
name of
one of
the
my favorite
artist?
artists of all time. Yeah, we have a lot of
What's
fun together when we run around conventions. But because a lot.
what's the name of the artist?
Michael McComb, aka Pool Boy. Let me.
Oh, actually, okay, I know him.
Yeah,
Well, I don't know
if
him,
you
but I've
collect
heard
Zombie
of him.
Tramp, you have his covers. Which
Yeah.
I have my favorite cover of his. I think is like 76. Is the one where she's upside down.
Okay.
Yeah. But yeah, he did a lot of that, and he's actually restarting it now that Dan has gotten his property back.
I know
So,
that was such a funny thing that they,
yeah.
it was like
Yes.
I actually was speaking with
see the glitter.
yeah. I was speaking with Action Comics and Dan Mendoza, and they were like, you could tell that there was tension.
Oh yeah, yeah. So Dan's actually local. So well, actually, Full Boy and Dan are local. So
Okay.
they're good peeps. So my other one is one of my all-time favorite artists, one of my all-time favorite characters. This is also a newer cover from one of the Kickstarters for the hardcover volumes. So we have Witchblade by
Nice.
Silvestri. Silvestri is my favorite. I love the artist Silvestri, but yeah, these are see a theme here.
Yeah. No, it's great. Yeah. I love the bad girls. They're awesome.
I love they're all pretty good. But yeah, I was huge into Image and Top Cow, Wildstorm, Homage Studios. I don't have any Darkchild next to me, but I have a massive Darkchild poster in front of me. But these are my favorite characters, probably of all time. Plus, I love his art. His art's just gorgeous.
It's really cool.
There's that. So shiny. I know.
It's like really. Is it a Mylar or something, or what is?
No, it's just a new bag and board, but my light is right here. Let's see if I can turn it there. Otherwise, it'll be so dark you can't see. Okay, that looks a little better.
Actually, it's better when it was like, yeah. Okay, no, it looks really cool. I mean, the detail on the glove is pretty insane.
Yeah, I have a signed black and white sketch of this somewhere. Print of it, but it's signed. Yeah, it's a really gorgeous art. So
yeah, no, it's awesome. So was that a Kickstarter as well?
It was a Kickstarter, not this one. This was just an add-on. It was a Kickstarter because they're re-releasing for Image all the volumes for every edition. So they're on. He just did 3, so this was part for 3, and they're going to come out with 4. And they did the Darkness and Cyberforce and some other ones. So they're kind of going around doing like a massive like hardcover combined edition. So this was just kind of like a new art add-on for the campaign.
Cool. Very, very cool.
Yes. This other one is another campaign that came out, but it's also my absolute favorite probably character from my favorite artist of all time, and that would be Michael Turner.
Oh wow.
And this was for Fathom the Core, which is the new Kickstarter that came out because they still are doing books for her on the new Aspen store. But yeah, you can go through I think it's a monthly thing now.
I really gotta check out more Kickstarters. I support Dan Mendoza and a few others.
Oh yeah,
but there's just so many.
so many. Yeah, that's one of the reasons why I like doing my show, so that I can actually get people on and promote their stuff, because I like to browse and find things that I want to learn more about. So,
that's awesome.
But she's so lovely. Like I love the way he did like the line work, and the water is gorgeous. And
yeah, no,
one of my favorite things about him, my tape broke, is when he does the pencils and the inks and the colorists, it just meshes so well. Like I think Fathom is probably one of the greatest combinations of those three people when you get them together, because it's just phenomenal. It's like breathtaking when you see all the stuff. Wow,
Yeah,
it's
no,
really,
it's,
really,
it's
really
fine.
spazzing out right now. Okay, this is also what was this? Indiegogo. So some of my favorite books of all time. One of my favorite artists of all time got me addicted on Catwoman in the 90s. That would be Jim Ballant, but this is not. This is tarot.
Oh, tarot.
Yes.
I have
This
a
is,
complete collection of tarot.
oh, nice. This is the Holiday Krampus edition. There
Yeah,
you go.
that's a great one.
Yeah, just lovely. I love them all, and I like that
I
they're
always
thick
felt
too.
like tarot was totally underrated. It's such a
It's
fun comic. It's
completely.
so fun.
Yeah, it's completely. I love the characters in it. I love that Jim like has his own self in there.
Yeah.
But yeah, these are pretty thick editions. But yeah, no, the art is so good. He's literally one of my favorite artists, and I there was breaks in between when I was into comic collecting, and I would stop, and I remember finding that first issue of Catwoman that he did on his run. After a long hard day of playing Mortal Kombat, we went next door to get snacks, and it was on a spinner rack, and it got me hooked back on comics all over again because of that.
Yeah, no, his Catwoman was awesome. Totally.
Oh, it's so good. It was super good. All right, what else? Okay, all right, I got a couple things there. All right, this one here, I got really big into manga in the 90s, but I've been a manga fan since the 80s, and I had subscriptions to every one of these. And this is a US release magazine in the 90s, and it actually, people will tell you it's a single edition, but it's not. It's a collected edition, but this actually has the first edition, the first appearance of Sailor Moon in it. This is issue 2, but issue 1 has it. But
I did a whole video about that one book.
Yep.
Believe it or not.
I had a subscription to this, so I have every single issue. And if people don't know, I will tell the history of this.
Okay,
this is Mixed Zine.
Yeah, Mixed Zine, yeah.
Yep, Mixed Zine. Yeah. They actually had single issues of the comics come out for each one of these, which was Chicks Comics. It went from Mixed Zine to Chicks Comics. That eventually, the series became Smile, and then Smile became Tokyo Pop. So that is how Tokyo Pop started in the United States.
But that book actually has multiple first appearances.
It does, yes. This is one of my all-time favorite mangas. The anime was okay, but
I like the anime. I thought the anime was awesome.
The anime was good too, but yeah, the manga is my favorite. I think it gets way more gory in the actual manga.
The manga? Okay. Yeah. I haven't really read much manga, to tell you the truth. But yeah.
Some are really good. I probably read manga every day, at least a chapter every day. But yeah, so this is issue 2, but issue 1/1, first appearance Sailor Moon, predates the single comics. Just saying.
Mm-hmm.
There you go.
So that's a big key.
It is a big key.
Under the radar key, actually.
Very under the radar. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So this is another one of my favorite comics of all time. All characters, and the rest are like magazines, so that's okay. But I love the art of Vampirella.
Oh, that's the Harris Vampirella, right?
I believe so, but it's the magazine.
Yeah.
I believe it's the Harris, because it's a issue 2. I don't know. I just grabbed it off my shelf. So
yeah. No, it's okay. It's okay. There was Harris, and then Dynamite also, I believe, did it later.
Yes.
But yeah.
Chaos Comics had them for a while. It kind of went around, but yeah, I believe this is still Harris at this time.
Yeah,
when this came out. But yeah, I love her. And
I'm a big Vampirella collector.
Yeah. Vampires, bats, sexy ladies, gothic stuff. I mean, that's my go-to. So yes. Also, I love that there's kisses in here as well. It's great.
Oh, that's cute.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Vampirella is an awesome character.
She's great. She's awesome. So I have more. I don't know how many more. I got 2 more separate individual things. So I'm huge into horror. I'm huge into monster stuff. I'm also huge into The Evil Dead. So
Oh,
one of my
nice.
favorites.
Famous
Uh,
monsters.
yes.
Wow.
He's one of my favorite characters of all time, and I will be showing art referencing that, but he's literally plastered all over my walls. He's literally, don't know how this works. Right there on my wall.
You know,
But
those ones are quite rare.
I
You didn't
not
know that
sure.
probably.
I picked
Yeah,
it up
no,
at
they're
a
really,
con for like
yeah,
hardly any money. So
they're really rare. So those came out at like I'm a big Warren fan. So those
oh
came out
nice.
after Warren. It was a
There you go.
what's the name of the company? It's not.
Let's see if the
Uh,
spine says it.
it
Uh,
should say Captain Company. It's something like that. It's like
oh, it
Dynacom and
says
something
Shock
like. Is it
Monster on the
Dynacom?
top. Uh,
Dynacom?
I don't know. It does not say that. It just says Shock Monster in the top corner, but that's all it says.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
probably have
I
to
think
open
it's
it.
like Dynacom or something like that. I'm trying to remember the name, but I'm terrible
Yeah.
with names. So, um, yeah, but they basically, there was like multiple companies that tried to bring back famous monsters, and
Okay.
they kept on going out of business because there just wasn't enough demand for them. So they had really small print runs. So they're quite hard
Okay.
to find. Yeah.
Nice.
I have a
Yeah.
complete collection of famous monsters, just so you know.
Uh,
That's
Perfect. That's awesome. I
so
love
yeah.
monsters. I love
Yeah,
Chainsaw Man.
Ash and like his
Yes.
chainsaw hand and stuff. Yeah, he's
Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah. So this was a kind of a more recent pickup in July at a con. So I was like, I gotta have that. And it was like
So did you? Are you a big horror movie buff as well, or
huge horror movie. Like everything over here is horror. That's all. I have horror
did you
posters
did
over
you
there.
like the like Universal monsters more than the like 80s gore, or
I
what's
love
your?
them both. I love the mix of the Universal just because it's artistic. Like you
Mhm.
could literally pause a Universal monster movie at any time. It's just a piece of art. And
Yeah,
then
yeah.
I love that. But then I also love the all-time cheesiest movies. I would just binge watch super cheesy horror
Yeah.
movies like all day long. It's my
Very
go-to.
similar viewing habits. Then I love all that stuff too.
Yeah, and then speaking of Universal monsters, my favorite non-Universal monster movie of all time is the Monster Squad. I watch that
Oh,
multiple
interesting.
times a year. Yeah.
That's
Okay.
funny. Okay,
Yes.
that's cool.
So this is my last hunk of booky things that I grabbed off my wall, and huge, huge. I don't know why there's stickers on here. Whatever. I got these from my friend. Uh, so I'm a huge, huge, huge heavy metal, but I'm also a
Oh,
massive,
wow.
massive Simon Bisley fan. He's my
Yeah,
favorite painter. It's hard to
yeah.
see. It's like I can't take it out because it's actually in the plastic from the heavy metal. So
I've been trying to promote Simon Beasley because I think he's just an
there you go.
amazing artist.
Yeah. Okay. So I'll show the other thing because yeah, this is gonna be impossible because it's still shrink wrapped in the heavy metal poly bag. But this was also an Indiegogo from 2 years ago where he does his sketchbook. So this is from the Biz.
Yeah, I have that one
Uh,
too. That's a nice one.
yeah.
I love
Sign.
those art portfolio kind of books.
Oh yes. I I literally have a whole shelf over here, just nothing but art portfolios, sketchy books. But I'd show this, but it's mostly naked.
It's mostly naked women.
It's like nakedness everywhere. But I adore him, and I met him recently at Motor City,
Oh,
and we
really?
took a picture together. And he said he actually wanted to take a picture with me because of how enthusiastic I was about his art in Lobo. And
That's,
he said the only way that we're taking a picture is we throw our middle fingers up. And I said, let's go.
that's so cool.
So yeah, he's
Yeah,
awesome. I love his art, so I will back anything that he does because it's my favorites.
yeah,
I wish,
he's really good.
yeah. I
There's
know
a
it takes forever, but I really wish more artists would go back to full-on painted books from cover to end, especially interiors, because I miss that.
yeah, heavy metal was kind of higher level of comic or
Yes.
kind of art. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah. So that there's my wad of comics.
All right. All
That's
right.
where I got so far. Hold on, I gotta put these back. Otherwise, I gotta crush all my stuff. But yeah. So
Okay.
there's that.
I'll probably get into more of your art stuff too. I'm gonna try to get you to show some of your art as well. Um,
Okay.
But before I get into that, what like when you collect, what do you chase after? What is it? Just what grabs your eye, or like?
Uh, Pretty much what grabs my eye. I've never been like a massive run filler.
Mhm.
I like the weird promo books.
Oh, really?
I like
Okay.
anything with a good cover on it because it makes me like want to find books to read. But I am more of a let's find the mini series and hunt those down than the actual full on runs of
Okay.
books.
Yeah, a mini series is nice. You can,
Yeah.
it's 4
Oh,
issues, you're done.
yes.
It's
Here.
like,
I'll show this as I've shown this before, but this was my Bible. Okay. This is from circa
okay.
1995.
Oh, yeah.
This was, oh yeah, this is my actual comic list that I was hunting down in the 90s.
Oh,
Had all the
wow.
stores with their number on it and every issue. And then I would erase it when I was like, when I would find an issue and complete
Oh,
it, I
you
would
do
erase
like
it.
the highlighter.
Yes, the highlighter. Yeah. So like that was like comics, and these are like mangas in the
Oh,
back.
wow.
So yeah, and then and further in the back is like all the hardcover books I was hunting down. So
That's
yeah,
very cool.
that was in the 90s, and I took that with me everywhere. Yeah.
That's funny. So, how like are you still hunting anything off that list, or?
Yes. Couple of things. That's yeah. A
Well,
lot of just weird runs, weird runs. I think I have like a few runs, a few issues left, like some like odd things like the annuals and stuff of the Jim Ballant Catwoman run that
yeah,
completed.
I tried to get the complete run of that because
Yeah,
it was just too
it's so
awesome.
good. Yeah, but yeah, so that's my main one that I'm collecting, like the whole thing. 'Cause normally I don't do that. Normally I just pick the ones here and there that I like, or I'll go and get a trade of like a little arc or something. But yeah, no, I want that whole full run of
It was a great
Catwoman.
run. Yeah,
Yeah, it's so good.
uh, I really felt like it was kind of like the precursor to Tarot. It's like so many of the
Yes.
characters look like Tarot.
Yeah.
It's like
Uh,
yeah, I thought that was, yeah, a really great one. Um, so
Super
yeah,
good.
so what would be your big book that you'd love to own, or?
There would be Catwoman, Silver Age appearance, which was Lois
Oh,
Lane number
really?
70. Yeah.
Oh, nice, nice.
Yeah,
That's a good book.
that's the one that I'm after right now. And I keep pricing it when I go to cons, and no, I'll wait a little bit.
You should have entered into my I had a giveaway for that book. I actually gave that book away.
Oh, nice. I might have entered that. I don't know. I've kind of been like here and there all over the place on YouTube.
Yeah, yeah, I know.
Last
Like, I
like
see
year
you
or so.
everywhere. I actually,
Yes.
yeah, I see you on Comic Journey. I see you on well, again, we just met again on Big B's channel,
Yeah.
and you're often on like Biggie Shack, and what other channels do you
Um,
Roscoe's
Bleak,
channel?
yeah, Roscoe, Bleak's channel,
Bleak,
probably
yeah.
TM now that he'll be doing his late nights. I do my own late night every now and then, but I usually hang around my but I was kind of on break because I kind of got burnt out doing too many shows.
Yeah, I
Plus,
mean,
it's
you're
my
everywhere.
super busy month. Yeah,
Yeah.
but I'll be back probably in February, doing way more stuff.
That's one thing I find that's really great about the community. It's like there's so many places to hang out, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love finding new places, so I'll just be jumping around in people's chats, be like, "Yo, what's up?" Come back later. Yeah,
Well, yeah. You can always hang out on my channel if you want. So you're
I
always
lurk
invited.
in your channel a lot, so a lot of times I'm not typing. I am lurking in your chat because I usually come home take a nap. Then I'll put TV
That's
on
it.
and watch.
So what was I gonna say? Yeah, actually, I'd love to see some of your artwork. I'd like to see,
Okay.
like, if you like the pretty ladies, I'd like to see what pretty ladies you're
Uh,
drawing.
so I did not grab pretty. Oh, there's one in the stack.
Okay.
Uh, there is one in two in this stack. So I do a mix, whatever of art. I'm kind of in my experimental phase at the moment,
Okay.
and this is just mixed. So I took like a about 4 years ago, 5 years ago. Yeah, I came back to streaming in art. I took about a 6 year break from both, and
Mhm.
oh, that's over there. So I came back and I wanted to see like where my skill level was at after I was um after
away
my break.
from- Yeah.
So I drew Morticia Adams, and then
Nice.
I was back at the time I was normally a pencil artist, and I thought, pencil isn't gonna cut it with Morticia. She needs to be like ultra black and sexy. So I tried charcoal for the first time, and that got me really inspired to do art. So I did a whole bunch of like gothic and horror related art because of it. And that got me down the line of doing nothing but horror art.
Oh, that's cool. That's cool stuff.
Yeah, which is interesting because I've always liked horror, but I've never thought, hey, let's draw it.
Yeah, liking something and then drawing it is very different.
Yeah. So then I went on a whole like experimental thing with charcoal mixing mediums, and I did watercolor for the first time. So this is my first ever watercolor piece that I've done. And for whatever reason, that entire summer I went down a weird rabbit hole of horror cabins. I did nothing but horror cabins, which honestly there's way more than you would think there are, but this is Evil Dead cabin.
Oh yes, it looks like the Evil Dead one.
Yeah.
Just don't open the book, people. Come on.
The Necronomicon is meant to be read, people. Open it and cause chaos. Make life exciting. So there you go. That was my first ever watercolor, and I kind of mixed it with watercolor and inking.
Oh, okay.
See, there's like ink lines in it. I know I should probably take out the plastic, but it's a lot of work.
No, it's really cool. I like your little signature thing too.
Yeah, that's my name. I've had this signature. It says Katie since the 4th grade.
Well, that's good. You developed it early.
Yeah, so it's me. Yeah. So once again, also doing horror cabins. I actually got PTSD from mixing brown, and I said I'm not mixing another brown color for a long time. And here we have the counselor cabin, and we have Jason just chilling on the side, and he's too shy to go say hi, so he's just chilling there during a blood moon because why not?
That's really funny. Yeah, I now that you sort of mentioned cabins, like there's so many cabins in horror movies. Actually,
I know it was amazing. I drew so many, so many.
Like I didn't really think about it until you were mentioning it.
It actually might be in this, but no, it's in my other notebook. I wrote down all the other cabins that I wanted to do, and I was running out of paper. So how many there?
Yeah, I think of all the different cabins. Yeah,
a ton of cabins. I know, and so after that, when I took my break from mixing brown paint because I couldn't do that anymore, I was literally burnt out doing that. I decided to explore doing nothing but ink only art. So.
So very different stuff now.
So the rest of these are done, not pencils. This is just straight up ink. So no erasing, nothing. And I got very creative on some of this stuff. But yeah, these are all just ink.
Oh, nice Alice Cooper. Okay.
Sharpie and shiny, like little scribbly ink lines. But yeah.
His eyes are awesome.
Oh, thank you. There's whiteout in there, so they super pop out, and then you can't tell.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. They totally like stare at you.
Yeah, I got really, really cool into mixing metallic paint and the whiteout to make cool effects, which you'll see more and more in my other art that's in this stack. But yeah, so Sharpie and metallic Sharpie and whiteout. I don't know why. It's just that's my go-to when I do portraits right now. Yeah. This is also a portrait of somebody that I kind of randomly scroll through Instagram, and whatever I see, I'll kind of just spend like 20 minutes or whatever doodling something. But this is also a dude on Instagram that I follow. You can see he's got silver eyes.
Really, wow, that one's really good.
Thank you. But I really like. I also like starting like not just face going down. Like with this, I was really challenging myself to see if I could get proportions right. So I would start like the corner here, then go up that way, then down.
Almost looks like negative space being used.
Yes. Kind of. Let me see if I can. Yeah, he's really gnarly. But this guy does really cool makeup. So yeah.
Yeah, I mean it's really crazy. It almost looks like what's it called? The guy from
Darth Maul. I think it's Darth. I think it's his version of Darth Maul, just like a gothic version. Which is really neat. Which I like. And this was just, I don't even know who it was, just some chick on Instagram. And then I was flicking through. I'm like, all right, I'll draw you. This is what I had to cut
Well,
out my
it's better than
sketchbook.
hiring models. Like you can just
Hey.
find their posts and start drawing them.
That's why I follow a lot of inspirational people and what I mean, inspirational like models and stuff, so I can draw them. But also, this is another ink only thing, and you can see in the corner here where it was bleeding through, so I had to cut them all out and put them in here. That's why they're also in here.
Oh,
but
wow.
it's just lots of lines and scritchy lines. There you go. And Sharpie,
Cool.
lots of Sharpie. Yeah.
I like the way the red just sort of is like the only color, and I think that's really interesting.
Oh, I also like doing that. So you'll see that in the next piece I did as well. So, but yeah, I was really into mixing Sharpie and trying to figure out how I could kind of mix and blend Sharpie. So it was kind of experimental, but I actually figured out how to do it. So
Was it Schindler's List where there was the girl with the red coat? Do you know what I'm talking about? And there's a black
it
and white
might have
movie, but
been.
then there was this one thing where it was like, a red girl with a red coat.
It might have been because that movie was all black and white, wasn't it?
Yeah, and then there was just one scene where they had like this girl with the red coat, and it kind of reminds me of that.
That could have been. Could have been.
No, it just reminds me of that idea where if you have all black and white, then you just add one color, it just really pops it. It makes it really cool.
Yeah, I really like that a lot. So this is the same other one in this piece where I was just experimenting just to see if I could draw stuff just with pen and just with ink or Sharpie or whatever. And then that's another one. So she's kind of let's see the face there.
Kind of reminds. It's supposed to be the girl from what's it called?
Fifth Element.
Fifth Element.
So she was modeling this. So she was modeling the gothic.
A gothic version of it.
Yeah. So I don't know. I like just try to experiment, but yeah. So this one I started the shoulder. That I try to figure out how to. Yeah, I like jumping around, challenging myself. So yeah.
So that's a good question, actually. When you draw a person, do you start with the face, or in this case, the shoulder?
Everywhere. Try something different. Yeah.
That's really interesting.
Yeah, so I'll show you the next one. So my next one's a portrait, which is actually interesting because it's a whole bunch of mix of mediums. I got really experimental with this. So this is probably my all-time favorite portrait that I've ever done ever, and it is a mix of Sharpie, ink, and nail polish.
Oh wow, you really like mixed medium.
I do. I got very experimental in the last couple of years. But yeah, if you look at his eyes, that's white nail polish layered with several different layers of Sharpie. And the way that I did it, it kind of looks like enamel. It feels like enamel. And then this is all nail polish down here.
So
but
you can it has like a texture to it, then you're saying.
Yeah. And then this one actually started with the eyes, not even the face, just the eyes.
Wow. No, it's very, very cool.
Jump around. Oh, thank you. Yeah. So yeah, I like jumping around and figuring it out.
Goth or something.
He's in a Japanese rock band. So yeah.
Okay.
It's Kyu from a Japanese rock band. Yes. I have more art. It's all in my pile next to me, but I don't know where any of this is. Crap. I'm going to drop all that.
Actually, I was really impressed by you. Just speaking of the fact that you're, very willing to try experimental stuff. I was impressed by your attempt. Well, and actually successful attempt at creating a Roscoe doll. I thought that was very, very cool.
Oh, thank you. So I do a lot of plushies. Usually like this.
Yeah, I saw you show that one. Like, I thought that was really cool.
Thank you. They're full on felt, these ones. So that one, the Roscoe, is the first one I ever did. That's a different material. And it's the largest one I've ever done. So here. So this is the prototype for him.
Prototype.
Well, yeah, it's the sketch. So this is actually how large he is standing up. So on the table, he's
yeah.
Yeah, he also has legs that stick out. So with the legs, and he's like several foot tall. But yeah, he's adorable. I liked messing with that, so that was fun. That's my art as of now. But yeah, I do everything. I do paintings. I did sculptures. I did wood carving.
So what medium or what kind of art do you like the most? Drawing?
Drawing, I really like charcoal. I think
Oh,
that's my
really?
favorite. Yeah, I have pieces over there, but I have to move a whole ton of stuff to get to them.
Yeah,
It's a
I'm
mess.
not gonna I'm not gonna force you to move all this stuff.
Yeah,
So
but
yeah.
I'm starting to get back into it, so that'll be fun.
So in the intro, I kind of mentioned that you do a lot of interviews on your
Yes,
channel.
yes.
Who was the first of our your favorite interview that you've done?
My favorite, well, that's gonna be hard because I've did with my Kickstarter one and my Fartist feature one. I've done about 80 something of them.
Wow, that's a
I
lot.
only started last year, so it hasn't even been a year yet since I started this. It
Wow, that's a lot of interviews.
was a
Like
lot. Yeah, that's kind of why I got burned out. But
I can imagine.
yeah, so I did a lot, which is interesting because there are a lot of people that have been on that I've known for years just as friends or in the
Yeah.
comic community that finally started doing their own books and stuff.
Hmm.
So, like Here Walks with Monsters, that I've known Martin and Kyle. They were part of my OG comic crew from 4 some years ago, and they have their own book now. That was fun. That was exciting to see that. And then I've had Bernard and Sean on. They're some of my I hang out with them a lot on their stream. They're a good bunch of guys. But yeah, my favorite one though was recently, and that was with Frederick Littles on the his campaign, and we got rated by hot dog people, and we spent 2 hours talking about hot dogs. So
I've seen some of your very odd posts on Instagram with hot dog related related
since
stuff.
then, let me tell you, I've gotten inspired by the hot dog community and have found my calling making hot dog related art.
I've seen some of the stuff on your Instagram. I was like, this is very odd.
Yes, weirdness, anything with weird, whatever. But I also like making random doodles in MS Paint and then kind of like turning them into whatever. So yeah,
Yeah, that's cool.
yeah, like art experimenting.
Art experimenting. So speaking of your channel, like this is your chance. Promote your channel. Tell people a little bit about your channel and about how you got into YouTube a bit. I'd like to hear that.
Okay, so I've actually been streaming 15 years.
Really?
Yes.
How do you
I
realize it's that
started
long?
on Blog TV that closed. I was on YouNow, and then we moved to Twitch, which was then Justin TV at the time. I was on Tiny Chat doing art streams. Then after a while, I took a break, and then I came back to Twitch. So I was doing Twitch for several years. Then I took a break from that, and I found the YouTube comic community. And for a long time, that whole entire time, I never streamed without like my face. It was just on my art.
Oh, okay.
So I started hanging around Tricky, and then I started doing auctions with them. Like I would do like the modding and whatever, just hang out in there. And then he would do late night streams on YouTube. And then eventually he didn't want to do it anymore, so we started doing a couple on my channel.
Okay.
So like we used to do like a lot of Insomniac type streams. Like we would start at like 10, go into like 5 in the morning type things. And then what started my Fartist feature was I found a piece over like last year during around Christmas time, and it was a Lobo versus Krampus piece. And I was like, I gotta buy this. And then he got COVID. The artist got COVID.
Oh
so
man,
it got delayed getting shipped. And I was like, you know what? I have this. I want to focus. I want to like show it off to promote him. And I was like, well, what's the best way to do this? And I was like, well, okay, well, I'll just have him on my show and promote him that way. And that's kind of how it started.
And that was about a year and a half ago, or?
Oh, I think it was like February
Oh,
23. Wow. Yeah. So
yeah, so
almost a year ago. Yeah, almost a year.
And you've done 80 plus interviews since then.
About 80, yeah, because I'm at I'm 40 on the one, and I think I'm like 36 on the other one.
Wow, that's crazy.
And they were getting so popular with the Fartist feature, because that one I just showcase artists, writers, musicians, whatever on that one. And I wanted to break it away where it was just highlighting them and not a Kickstarter. So then I started the Kicking It with K-pop one, which is all crowdfunding. So I've got about 40 of each now.
And I remember watching one of your things where the guys were actually like really thankful to you because you got them funded.
Yes. So That was probably that one was probably my favorite stream
Mhm.
because as we were doing it, the kids were like, I call them kids, but they're in their 30s.
Yeah, I know. I remember you saying that too. Actually, I thought it was so funny. You're acting as if they're like these young
I
kids.
know, I know. I'll be 43 in March, so like every time I see somebody and they're like in their 30s, as a kid. So, so we were talking, and they're like, we didn't even tell anybody that we were even doing this. We were just gonna put it up there and see what happens. And I was like, it's like, come on, promote it. And then as we were closing the stream, we realized, oh hey, it got funded. So that was the first time on my stream that my stream actually got somebody completely funded, and they were just going to give up on it. And it had only a couple days left in the Kickstarter.
Yeah, I mean, you turned them around, really. Yeah.
Yeah, so that was very exciting, and now they're working on some other books now, which is I can't wait to see more of that. But I bought during that stream the sketch cover, and what I told them, just do Friday the 13th and go nuts, because it was like retro 80s style. So the cover that I got back was my like all-time favorite thing. So it's Jason playing Nintendo with two of the guys, and he's like, Glenn sucks or Glenn cheats, and it's my favorite thing. So yeah,
that's really cool. I mean, I think you showed that on the stream because I remember that. Yeah. So that's so cool.
Yeah, it's been so when I see these kicks come on and like they're like low, not really going anywhere, they end up getting funded by time it happens like that makes me super proud that happens, because a lot of time it's getting their stuff out there, because a lot of people, it's like very low in the totem pole and Kickstarter, people don't really see it. So
people like it's one of those things that people don't really understand how to promote themselves on Kickstarter. It's actually not that easy. but
yeah, you gotta tell your friends and family that you're doing it. You gotta start there, and then go and promote your links and stuff. Yeah, then go promote it and link it out everywhere. But like some people are so afraid they don't even want to do that. I'm like, no, you gotta go spam your stuff. Go do it.
I think a lot of people are shy. It's like a
a lot of artist people are. We're very introverted.
I used to work with artists, so I know. But yeah, it's been really cool hanging out with you. Where can people find you and stuff?
Okay, so Friday I will have a Kicking It with K-pop. I don't want to do it on Sunday because Lions play. So
well, this will air in like from the recording time. It'll air not this weekend, not the weekend after, the weekend after. 3 weeks.
Okay. Oh, so like Super Bowl time. Ooh, okay.
Yeah, you're actually competing with Super Bowl, so this will be like, we'll see how well you do. You gotta get the 1 billion views. That's the goal.
Oh, okay. I will definitely reach out. Go Lions. Yes, I predict they will be in the Super Bowl. Let's go. Hopefully that happens, but my team. So yes, go Lions, and so I'll do that on Friday. I'll have my campaign on Friday, and then something's happening Saturday, but I don't quite remember what. And then Sunday I'll be on Church with Blake.
Okay, so that's where people can hang it, and they can check it out. I'll put your links in the comments, like in the description, like your YouTube and your Instagram.
Oh, nice. Thank you so much.
So give you a little bit of promotion. Everyone should just go over and subscribe to her channel, because it's not you're not just helping her, you're helping the community, because she helps the community. So thanks again, by the way. And
thank you.
So bye everyone.
Bye.